Pressure canning meat is so easy. These are the last two that I have. This one is chicken. You can see the color difference just a little bit. This is the back strap from the rabbit. But this is all I have left. So I've got to get some more jarred meat on the shelf. Get my vinegar ready so I can wipe my rims. I prefer to wipe my rims with a little bit of vinegar to get the grease off, to make sure that all of my lids seal well. With raw packing your meat, cold jars, cold canner. You don't want your jars to bust. We are raw packing this meat. But I prefer to use wide mouth jars. It sure makes it easier to get it out when you're ready to use it. To bone in on these rabbit thighs that I have, just gonna pack them in here really well in one jar. So you need to keep 1 inch of head space. I don't know if I'm gonna go ahead and break these legs down a little further because I can't get them to fit in my jar this way. Okay, so we've got the thigh and then the leg part. We'll be able to get it in there now. You can raw pack chicken the same way that I'm doing these rabbits. Let's go ahead and fill in with some of my chunked up rabbit meat. There'll be a little bit of both. I do like to put just a little bit of salt in each one. Now, this is a very small batch, so I need to fill my canner with something else. And the other things that I need to have, canned beans for like dumping into things just to like make quick dinners. Bean time is the same as the meat. Put our pressure canner lid on. Since it's cold, I don't want my jars to bust. So I'm going to kind of bring the temp up a little bit slower. I got my big Presto in 2020, right before all the prices went bananas. And then I found this one, the small one, last year for $5 at a sale barn. Of course I jumped on that. Our pots have slowly gotten warm and I've turned the heat all the way up now. So now I'm just waiting on it to start venting. Do you hear that? If the pots are rocking, don't come a knocking. Whenever it says that it's going to vent, you're watching for steam to start coming out. You want a steady stream of steam to come out for about 10 minutes. Okay, I've set my timer for 10 minutes now. See that steady stream coming out? Now we're gonna put the weight on, let it come to pressure. For my elevation and area, I need to pressure can at 11 pounds. Usually I do between the 10 and the 15, wherever it wants to settle. My stove's a little finicky. All right, so we are up to pressure. I'm gonna let it go over just a smidge and start timing. Quarts have to process at pressure for 90 minutes. The pints, 75 minutes once they get to pressure. I have my gauges turned where I can check on them while I just sit here and eat my lunch. Our big pot is also done on time. So I'm gonna turn it off. I'm gonna let it sit here and mellow out. Okay, we are at 0 pressure and the little thing dropped down. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this off, both of them. Since the little thing has already dropped, I'm also gonna go ahead and just open the lid up a little bit to finish it off. To twist it. And then I'll come back and take the lid off to the side. I'm sitting here relaxing. Start pulling these out. You always want to have a nice thick towel down whenever you're pulling them out, because if you put those hot jars on the counter and it's cold, you can shock your jars and they will bust. We don't want that because that was a lot of hard work. I'm not gonna lie, this part always kind of stresses me out. I'm always scared that like they're gonna bust on me and that would be awful. Rabbit. Look, see all the juice? It made its own broth. Here's some of that bone-in rabbit. Look how rich that looks. Now we just have to let these sit for 24 hours. Then we can take the rings off, wash them up, and store them. Check them out, just bubbling away.